Hello everyone, Stylowski here, and I have been recently asked about potentially the best level for invasions, and I thought, hey, maybe I'm gonna make the whole video about it. Before we are going to even talk about the levels itself, we have to talk about the matchmaking formula. We have two variables that allow you to invade other players. First one is your level, or so-called rune level. The other is your weapon level. We're gonna talk about the levels a little bit later. I want to talk briefly about the weapon levels though. So you have to kind of adjust your weapon level to the level you are invading at, because you have to kind of predict the most popular level upgrade of the host that you are going to invade. So if you are just invading on the lowest possible bracket, you just create a new character for the purpose of invading at, for example, level 10 or so, then you just go regular upgrade of the weapons to +3 and the somber to +1, and that's about it. This is the best possible bracket for you, because you are going to have matchmaking with people that have the somber upgrade of +2, you're gonna have a matchmaking with people that have the regular weapon upgrade of +6. It's basically the best activity you possibly can have. If you are invading at around like 50, then my suggested weapon upgrade would be either +10 normal +4 somber, or +12 +5 somber. There is one more bracket I find quite nice, which is level 100, and for level 100, I personally run +20 and +8. By doing so, you can invade people at the max upgrade of the normal weapons and max upgrade of the sober weapon, and you can also invade people with +15 normal weapons and +6 somber, which essentially gives you the widest range of the potential matchmaking. Now let's go to my save files. I do not have any character at level around 10, 30 and so on. The reason for that is quite simple. If you are invading on the low levels, you essentially ending up with two potential scenarios. You are either going to invade complete newbies, and essentially you're gonna overpower them with your experience, which, to be honest, I don't really find it fun to bully regular PvE gamers that go through the game. Or the other option is that you are gonna go against over-leveled phantoms that's simply gonna overpower you with the status effects, because these are not downscaling properly. Overall, there is a huge problem with the downscaling in this game, but all these problems are especially apparent on the very low level, because to match these people you need to twink hard yourself, and then you are still going to be at huge disadvantage. But I don't want to twink, because then you are generating very unfair advantage against the host itself, that is usually a new player. So there is no win situation in my opinion, and low level invasions are absolute fucking dog shit, and I strongly suggest to avoid them unless you really want to. Then just follow the weapon level matchmaking that I was talking about a moment ago, and just, well, good luck. The lowest level that I am invading at is level 50. In this particular case, with the somber +4 and regular weapons +10, it is a character that has a lot of success with the K-Lead invasions, which are overall very climatic, and I personally like them a lot. You can evade on the location like Area Manor and so on. There is like plenty of other closed locations that are quite fun to invade at this particular level. There is still like a huge problem with over-leveled phantoms that just gonna overpower you with the status effects, but at level 50 you have at least plenty of responses to that. Your resistances are not as terrible as they are on level 10. You have usually more slots for the talismans and so on, and overall this experience is more bearable and overall more nice. On the other level brackets, it is not that often to invade at Khalid, so yeah, essentially level 50 in my case is for the sake of to invade the Khalid locations, and yeah, that's what it is. Then another level bracket I am playing at is level 100. That one is exactly like I said before with the weapon levels. It is +8 somber and +20 normal upgrade. With this one you can invade pretty much anywhere in the game, and there is possibility you're gonna find the invasions anywhere as well. It's just that since the activity across the game is so incredibly spread, because the map is so huge and the activity in the multiplayer is like it is, then it's pretty much, it's sometimes hit or miss. I can just have days where I'm going literally anywhere on the map and I have absurd amount of the activity and life is good, and then sometimes you just go anywhere and you cannot find activity in no place whatsoever, and then life is sad. But overall, when it comes to the random invasions, if you want to spread across the activity through the whole map and just invade everywhere it is only possible, then level 100 I guess is the way to go. The another bracket is a 125. And 125 is essentially kind of forced meta level for the competitive play. So it is essentially the most common level that is used in the tournaments. You can play ranked duel in places like PvP Discord, where you have leaderboards and everything, and essentially, well, places like that are exactly for level 125. It is also technically a dueling meta, although not really, which we are gonna talk about very soon. Level 125 is technically the most balanced level that you can craft the build on. Your resistances are pretty good overall, but you are pretty much on the borderline limit of the attribute points to create the hybrid builds. So essentially there is a lot of the sacrifice done for the sake of to optimize your builds to the fullest, which is, I guess, nice and increase the skill ceiling when it comes to the build making. So yeah, like 125, you could say it is a competitive meta if you want to participate in the tournaments and so on. You probably want to get yourself character on this particular level, although there are also tournaments on the level 150, just, well, usually not happening that often. That doesn't mean that this is the only level that tournaments happening on, but this one is definitely the most common, let's call it that way. The another bracket level, which is my favorite for the sake of invasions, is 137. You are finishing the game between level 130 and 150 the most commonly. And the most common areas to invade at are the first step and surroundings and Lurnia of the lakes. Which pretty much means that at level 1 and 37, you can catch on people in between levels 125 and 150s. And because of the fact at the beginning of the lifetime of the Elden Ring, there was a lot of the discussions which supposed to be so-called meta level, and people were arguing about 125 versus 150. These arguments last still very this day, and people still do not have one particular consensus, which is quite understandable because essentially you have two approaches. Some people looking at the meta level only from the perspective of the fair play, and then 125 is probably more logical. Others looking at it from the perspective of the activity, and then probably 150 is better. But essentially I personally like 137 because you are essentially in the range of both worlds and you can invade both 125s, you can invade 150s. Technically, you can go up to 138 and that is going to change nothing. I personally stay on 137 for no big apparent reason. I just do so. In the PvP hotspots, which as I said is Lurnia of the lakes and the surroundings of the first step, this level bracket is insane. You're always going to find people to fight against on this particular level. The other level is 166, and this one is quite interesting because on this level you can invade people on level 150 and people at level 200. So that's pretty much a bracket dedicated for the sake of invading people that going through the NG+. And I have found plenty of activity on this build, just that similarly to level 100, like it is with the invasions in the open world, you might have a situation that you're just gonna have invasion after invasion anywhere you're gonna go to. Or you might have a situation that because of the how spread and huge the map is, you are not gonna be able to invade anyone, no matter where you go. It's just up to the sheer luck if someone is in the given location or not, if someone already got invaded and then they are on the 8 minutes timer or not, and so on and so forth. It is just like it is. And then the last character I am invading at is level 713, which is max. The whole deal with this character is just the fact that ever since level 301 up to level 713, people are in one bracket. Once you have level 301, there is absolutely no reason to not level up to the max. You are going to invade absolute monsters of the builds, of people that just either cheated their stats or just spent a lot of time gaming around and getting to that max level. It's quite fun experience, I would say, to invade at this level. A lot of the activity, especially in the first step, but essentially the higher level you have, the more of one-shotty the game becomes. Overall, the time to kill in Elden Ring is very short at any level, you could say, but it is especially apparent on the max levels, and because of that, the average skill level of the players is rather low. People just crashing a lot on the absolutely insanely bonkers game mechanics that allow them to essentially one-shot people left and right. It is fun level to invade at. It's also like the most cancerous level to invade at, so process with caution. My suggestion is to have many characters on many different brackets, so you can log between these characters and just possibly find yourself the currently active spot at the particular levels, and this is essentially the best thing you can do. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Thank you a lot for watching. I hope this video helped you somehow with the multiplayer activity, and from now on you're gonna have a little bit more invasions. Just remember that the overall multiplayer activity in this game is crippled by terrible matchmaking rules that are set by From Software, and until these are going to change, then we are going to have very questionable activity overall, despite having a lot of people that playing through the game. So hey, just don't give up, Skeleton, and I see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye!